So, hey, speaking of the actors' strike, what's going on with that? Now, the actors have been on strike for maybe a couple of weeks. The writers have been on strike since May. May to June, June to July. 2 months, 3 months, they're there. And the terrible idea of the producers is we're not going to have any negotiations with anybody until October, the end of October. Because by that time, that'll be like, what, May, June, July, August, September, October, 5, 6 months. People will be running out of money. They'll be running out of savings. They'll lose their house. They can't pay rent. They're going to be evicted. And when they're in that state of mind, then we can go in there and just offer them slop for a contract, and they'll take it because what choice do they have? That is the attitude that's going on in Hollywood, which is why actors and writers are standing up and saying, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to have a little bit of respect. And this may be the last best chance for labor, the writers and the actors, to get a contract that sort of protects their workspace, protects their future, because, as we discussed last time, AI is coming for them and coming for everybody. And if there's one thing you can say about television shows, especially the modern shows, is they are formulaic. They have a beginning, a middle, and end. Go back to Aristotle's Poetics. Plot, character, thought, diction, music, spectacle. They're all lined up. They're all ready to go. And all you have to do really is fill in the blanks. And that may sound formulaic, and it is, but that's how computers run. So if you're AI and you want to write a script, and you're programming the AI, and you're one person, and you're going to have your AI, write all the scripts for a season, you just say, here's the plot structure. I want this to happen then and that to happen here. And you let the AI script it all out. And then you kind of look over it and, make it interesting or put in a couple of jokes or two and you're done. That's really where all of this is going to end up going. Now, maybe the writers and actors can delay that by a few years. But let's say 5 years, 10 years. After that, then what? How are you going to say that you can write a script better than AI when it's just all formula? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And sure, structures change. 100 years ago when you went to the Shakespeare Festival, the shows were 5 acts long. You had Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. And you would take a break between acts and it would be a whole evening. Now people won't sit still that long. We used to have a 3-act structure when I was young, 50 years ago. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Now it's down to 2 acts, Act 1, Act 2, and I'm done, I'm walking home. And now the latest thing is 1 act. A movie in a single sitting. You used to go to the movies and you'd have a break in between. You'd have an intermission and you'd get up and go to the bathroom and buy some more popcorn and some more soda. More pop, because you already ate yours. Well, we don't do intermissions really in movies very much anymore. You watch old-time movies, you'll see intermission, break time, built into the movie. Not today. So it becomes much more difficult trying to figure out how all of this is going to work out, because attention spans are slipping. People are used to the instant gratification of being able to watch, a TV show, 10 episodes, all in one sitting. They'll watch 10 hours of TV straight so they don't have to wait 10 weeks to watch a show in its entirety. That is changing the status of the entertainment industry as well. And it's sort of a difficult thing to try to figure out, is where are we going to go in all of this? How is all this going to work out for us? It's a frightening time. And, if you're a, sort of well-known television writer with a history and reputation, past 5 years, you could make $350,000 a year. And people who are making that kind of money don't want to give it up. They want to keep it going. But streaming, the changes in broadcast television, cable TV, all of that is changing, and it's going to be a very difficult road. Now, here's the one thing I don't understand. If you're on strike, how can you, as a union, allow shows to continue to be made and to be in production? I think that's not a good idea. And I'm not saying they're setting up to be scab performances, but it feels that way. And here we go. They don't call them scabs, they call them interim waivers. SAG-AFTRA interim agreements, list of movies and series granted waivers, which means you can continue filming, working in the middle of a strike. Now, I would think if you're going to call a strike, you shut everything down. You shut every part of the industry down you can. No waivers, nothing granted, no interim nothing agreed to until we have a signed deal. Because otherwise, you're going to be knickered, sliced up 1,000 times by all of these smaller events that you allow to move forward. Well, here we go. Look at this. Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman produced Civil War spy series, The Grey House, lands a SAG-AFTRA interim agreement, which means they can continue doing their show. Well, how does that help? It helps the people employed, but it doesn't help you win a strike. Because you're undercutting yourself by allowing them to have this interim agreement and waiver. Here's another one. Hallmark. The Hallmark Channel. When Calls the Heart awarded, right, interesting turn of phrase there, awarded a SAG-AFTRA interim agreement. So Hallmark carries on, soldiers on, in the middle of a strike. Oh, we have a waiver. We have an interim agreement. The strike doesn't affect us, doesn't apply to us. We're continuing on business as usual. Why? Another one, Glenn Close. An indie movie, The Summer Book, is the latest film's given a SAG-AFTRA waiver. Interim agreement. Now, Glenn Close is a big star. You think she would close down production and say, well, I'm not moving forward. If my brothers and sisters can't act and get paid, I'm not doing it either. Even though I might be able to, maybe I can get an interim agreement. Maybe I can get a waiver, but I won't do it because I'm Glenn Close. Didn't happen. So we go up to the original article and we click through and we see, oh, look at this. Look at this. SAG-AFTRA launched a strike against Hollywood studios on July the 14th. Interim Agreements program is one that allows independent productions with no direct ties to members of the Alliance of Motion Picture Television Producers to continue filming. I say if you're going to shut down one angle, shut down all angles. The Guild has been adding to the list of projects granted waivers since soon after it went on strike. I guess the AMPTP, after failing to agree on a new film and TV contract. Prominent projects include, so far, Angel Studios' Bible-based The Chosen, the A24 films Mother Mary, and I Dream of Unicorns, and Apple TV's Tehran. Actors able to continue working under these agreements, oh, isn't that sweet? Anne Hathaway, Dakota Fanning, big stars now, Glenn Close, James Badge Dale, Ben Foster, Graham Greene, and Melissa Lowe, among others. So it doesn't sound right. It doesn't fit right that these actors can work and those actors over there can't work. It's confusing to people who don't know any better. They say, oh, there's no strike. It's been fixed because Glenn Close is working on a movie. And it doesn't help people who have intimate knowledge of knowing what's going on, because the people who can't work are saying, well, why can you work on an independent show, but I can't work because I'm on broadcast television? I mean, are you standing together or are you divided and falling separately? The answer seems to be you're falling separately. And here's a list of all these films that have waivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're only in the D's, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We're now in J's. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Those are the movies, and the series are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somebody explain it to me. Are we on strike or are we not striking? Well, we're striking some places, but other places are just fine. But people are still working, and they're making product. They're filling the pipeline. Are we supposed to shut everything down so there's nothing new coming out? Well, these are side agreements. Well, if they're side agreements and they don't apply, then where's the waiver coming in? Where's the interim agreement coming in? Well, because the actors are part of the guild, they have to get our approval to do a side project. I mean, it's complete and absolute madness. If you're an actor, if you're a writer, sit down, put down your pen, and cross your arms. Don't do anything. Nobody does anything. There's a reason people are actors, okay? Now, if you're on strike, you should be on a picket line, protesting somewhere to let it be known. And sometimes if you're on a strike picket line, you get strike pay. Now, it's usually not very much. $100 a day, $500 a week. And so for some people, maybe that's enough, important to get paid. Are they there 24 hours a day? No. But it'll be interesting to see how long a picket line lasts, because actors are known to not be 9-to-5 people. They tend to have very crazy hours. They're very creative. They don't like to be told what to do. And unless it's vitally important and they're getting a lot of money, they don't want to be told where to go and how to stand. So it'll be interesting to see how long, if this, strike lasts into October. The latest thing I heard this morning is they're saying there's not really even going to be talks of an agreement until early 2024, because they need to sort of drain the pipeline of these shows that are coming up that are people involved in using. Yeah, right? Okay, that's a problem. So they have to drain the pipeline so there's no new product coming out of it. But with all these waivers and affiliate agreements or whatever, will it ever dry up? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all turns out, and I hope that the actors will be able to sustain a picket line and go and protest and do all of those important things. We'll see how it all happens in the end.